All right, I'm making this video to let people know that if you want to hear my take on the Zimmerman Trayvon Martin situation, tune in tonight to American Freedom Radio at 8 o'clock Central. That's 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the evening on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. I think on both sides we're seeing outrageous behavior, outrageous statements. We're seeing people get emotional. They're getting into the box. They're getting into the box, the paradigm that they happen to identify with, whether it be a left or a right box, whether it be a white or a black box. Yet there are many whites and blacks, Hispanics, and others that are seen through this attempt to divide the people. You see all these people, however, at the same time, and we're going to have a discussion about it tonight, in Los Angeles, in other cities, being engaged in assaults, property damage, and they are responding to information coming from the mainstream media, perspectives, deceptions coming from the mainstream media. And obviously, we have an issue with education in this country. These people are not educated to the fact that the slave masters that have been oppressing their kind for a very long time, as well as whites around the world, own the networks, are actually invested in there being some sort of chaos internally. They don't want us looking at the real slave masters. And certainly, people in this world don't want to look at the ultimate reality that these illusions of separation, oh, I'm better than you or you're better than me, that is an etheric leash on the neck. That's where all this comes from. All these false perceptions of who we are and who others are. Let me tell you this. Most people are not in any position to be judging the value of other people because most people don't know who they are themselves. They've been getting programming and perceptions, much of them implanted from external environmental factors, be it family, be it religion, be it media, be it some other force or factor. So before anyone can know what people are like, for example, over there in another country, they truly need to know themselves in their own country, which brings me to another point, which I'll be bringing up on the air tonight. Where are the people out there screaming in the streets, I'm Abdul, I'm Maryam, insert this Middle Eastern name here, in response to people being identifying with the victims of war? The issue here is we don't have people identifying with the victims of war because people believe them to be separate from themselves. You see, that's a major problem with this country. A country that I believe does have its own karma that one day will be knocking at the door. And so people get all amped up about Trayvon and go, I am Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin could be my son. Now, Obama's saying that, that could have been him. To further personalize it, first Trayvon looked like his son. Now Trayvon looks like him. Even more to the point where that could have been me, Obama says to the masses, those that are still drinking his Kool-Aid, to further politicize this in a very sick and twisted way. Most of you already know this Justice Department, if you can even call it that, the so-called Justice Department's involvement with the protest and other factors, the media's coverage. It's sick and it's twisted and it's hypocritical. This government and its allied partners are responsible for genocide. So for those that say that they're for equality, for those that say that they're not racist, that they have a heart for all, where are those marching in the street? For all the Abduls and the Maryams out there and all the Mustafas out there. Now, see, on a subconscious level, people from those countries have been demonized. So there are people out there that may not consciously be racist, but from all the programming that they've gotten about terrorists over there, to a certain degree, they've been dehumanized to the level of being a subhuman. This is why people in this country, in the United States, they don't identify with those people over there and their plight, their slavery. And a lot of people, again, we have an issue with education in this country, and we're not talking about so-called higher education, but a general awareness that those that are running the show here at home are murdering people over there, and now they've got drones over U.S. skies, and now people aren't up in arms about the drones in the skies. They could have been up in arms about the drones in the skies 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Some were, many have not been. The point is, if you don't speak out for others that are being victimized by this new world order system, eventually it comes to haunt you. So for those that are rioting, for those that are involved in the illusion of separation, mind control, fuck paradigm, you gotta wake up and realize that you're not for real and you're not legitimate about any cause unless you care about all people. If you want to get involved in some sort of a divide and conquer paradigm and think that you're going to go and engage in violence against others, or see yourself as someone that needs to attack people that didn't do anything to you just because of their race, then you are a product of the New World Order, and it's people like you that are just going to continue to put fuel on the fire, and the other side's going to come at you even harder. It's going to fuel racism and fear of the black man. We're already seeing, there is a video on YouTube of a guy named Lester, I forget his last name. He's a jazz musician. It might also be soul music. Anyway, he's given a tribute to Trayvon Martin. He has his right to do so. He doesn't go off or call for violence. He invokes the memory of Trayvon Martin before speaking about Christ for a few moments, and then he begins to play. So in a way, it was fairly beautiful, even though he brings up the latest controversy. Well, a woman in the crowd was so upset, she gets on stage, a white woman who looks like she's in her 30s, and attacks this man who looks like he's probably in his late 60s or early 70s. At the same time, we have a story in the news about a 75-year-old white man who just murdered. There's no doubt about whether it was murder or not. He murdered this 13-year-old and accused him of burglarizing his house, and he does all of this on camera. He also pointed the gun at the 13-year-old's mother. So all of this, and of course the media coverage, fans the true flames of racism. And so we need to expose what's going on with all of this. But of course, as I will be doing tonight, invoking the memory of the victims of war. If we truly are for creating a just society, and most of you that are watching this channel already have that in your hearts, you have compassion, you understand the New World Order's grip on the planet. And those that are playing into the system, those that are serving the system, those that are so uneducated they don't know that there's another option. But we need to bring this information to others that are still stuck in this racial paradigm. We have to work. I believe we need to work. I believe it's morally right, that it's the right thing to do. To remind people that etheric leash, it's an energetic one, it's around their neck, it's non-physical. It continues to exist over many human beings. It prevents them from evolving consciously when they are stuck in this illusion of separation, when they don't understand that the base essence to all of us is a spiritual energy and life force. It's beyond the flesh, okay? You know, I might identify with being half Afghan, half white, but I know that I am more than that I've come into this planet with knowledge of experiences that I had before I was born. I remember things. So this evil system seems familiar to me, as if I've been fighting it in spirit for a very long time, and that's how some of you feel as well. And we realize throughout time how different groups and races and tribes and religions and nations have been played off against one another. And it's like we're seeing it in plain sight, this loop. And we need to recognize the loop, and we do not hold that information in, but help others unplug from what they're trying to create, which is a very bad situation, especially for those living in the cities. And they also want to create more tension between men and women. This has been ongoing for a long time. In this case, between black men and white women. We'll talk about that tonight because the jury was nearly an all-white female jury. And that's something that a lot of people haven't picked up on. When it comes to divide and conquer, this isn't just about black and white. This is about male versus female. And so we're going to get into that tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time on American Freedom Radio. I also encourage you to go to alexansary.tv. As long as I'm here in New Mexico, I'm going to try to update my website, the news, the videos, etc., etc. If you go to the alexansary.tv Facebook page, you will also, if you're on Facebook, get all of my updates and posts. Posts I'm not actually going to be making on my personal page as well. There's also my Twitter page, which you can find, and everything that's going on the website is going to the Twitter page. And there's also a link to an RSS feed over at alexansary.tv. I also appreciate any contributions and donations that may come my way to expand the broadcast. There's going to be a tab coming up very soon on the upper left-hand corner of AlexAnsary.tv that's going to detail some of the specific broadcasting tools and equipment that can help me bring back a weekly 28-minute TV show, which I'm also going to try to bring back to Access TV, because these perspectives that I have, that I'm feeling, even though I'm out here in nature, I want to express them to others that are still in the city, that are still in the grid. I'm not satisfied with just a few hundred viewers every few videos. I cannot just keep this information contained within my own head, nor on YouTube.com. So I welcome your support. If you would like to help share the posts that are on AlexAnsary.tv, the video links, and of course the information that I will be presenting in the future. Thank you for watching. Tune in tonight at AmericanFreedomRadio.com at 8 o'clock Central. We'll talk to you then.